The rain hammered down like God's own judgment, turning the graveyard into a slick, black mirror of regret. Liam Harper stood there, soaked to the bone, staring at the fresh mound of earth that swallowed his father whole. Jack Harper, the man who'd once swung him high on his shoulders at county fairs, now reduced to a granite slab etched with lies about a life well lived. In his trembling hand, a yellowed envelope peeked from his coat pocket, its edges frayed like the family ties it promised to mend. But Liam's gut twisted with the certainty that some apologies arrived too late to thaw a heart frozen solid. He'd driven 18 hours straight from Chicago, the city lights fading into the endless cornfields of his Indiana youth, each mile marker a taunt from the past. The call had come at dawn. "Your father's gone, Liam. Heart attack in his sleep. The farm's yours now if you want it." Spoken by Aunt Marlene, voice cracking like old barn wood. It wasn't an invitation so much as a dare. Liam hadn't set foot in Willow Creek since he was 17, since the night Jack had found that crumpled note from his high school crush and roared, "This ain't my boy. Get out and don't come back till you're fixed." Fixed. As if love was a bent fender you could hammer straight at the garage. Now, under the relentless downpour, Liam knelt, mud sucking at his jeans, and pressed his palm to the wet soil. "You win this round, Dad," he whispered, voice lost to the storm. But as thunder cracked overhead, a flicker of lightning illuminated the envelope's scrawl. Jack's handwriting, unmistakable even after a decade, for Liam. "When the time's right." The time was right now, or so the universe seemed to mock, because what else could drag a man back to the place that spat him out? Liam Harper had rebuilt himself in fragments, piecing together a life from the shards of that expulsion like a mosaic artist gone rogue. Chicago welcomed him with its brutal anonymity. Neon buzz and elbow-to-elbow crowds where no one cared if you loved men or monsters, as long as you paid rent. He'd crashed on a cousin's lumpy couch for 3 months, dodging questions about the bruise blooming on his cheek from Jack's parting lesson, then clawed his way into a barista gig at a hipster coffee joint in Wicker Park. Tips were shit, but the rhythm soothed. Grind, tamp, pull shots, repeat. It was mechanical enough to drown out the echo of his father's bellows. Nights were harder. He'd lie awake in his studio apartment, the L train rattling like accusatory ghosts outside the window, replaying the fallout. Mom had died when he was 10, cancer quick and merciless, leaving Jack to raise him alone on the Harper farm, 200 acres of soybeans and stubborn pride. Jack had been a good dad once, teaching him to drive the old Ford on back roads, sharing beers by the fire pit under star-pricked skies, stories of Vietnam filtered through whiskey haze. But after the note, "Hey Liam, wanna grab shakes after practice?" It all curdled. Zachary Ellis, the Golden Boy quarterback with a smile that could melt frost off a windshield, had been Liam's secret son. One innocent scribble and Jack's world imploded. "You're a disgrace," Jack had snarled, face purple as the bruises he'd left. "My blood don't run that way. Pack your shit and go." No pleas from Liam, just a duffel bag stuffed with jeans and dreams, hitchhiking to Indy with $20 and a prayer. The farm faded in the rearview, a silhouette of silos against the dawn, and Liam vowed never to look back. He didn't, not even when Aunt Marlene's Christmas cards arrived, postmarked Willow Creek, always with a P.S. "Your dad misses you. Come home." Home. What a joke. Chicago became that, eventually. He traded lattes for line cook at a gastropub, then night classes at community college culinary arts because food didn't judge. By 25, he was sous chef at the Rusty Anchor, a queer-friendly spot on Halsted with rainbow flags snapping in the wind and drag brunches that packed the house. That's where he met Zachary again, or what was left of him. It was a Tuesday, slow pour of microbrews and regrets. Zach walked in like he'd never left the pages of Liam's high school yearbook. Taller, broader, that same tousled blonde hair now threaded with early silver, laugh lines carving canyons around eyes still the color of summer corn. He ordered a whiskey neat, voice a low rumble that hit Liam like a gut punch. "Long time," Zach said, sliding onto a stool, as if 10 years and 1,000 unspoken confessions were just a skipped class. Liam's knife slipped mid-chop, nicking his thumb. Blood welled, but he played it cool, plating Zach's burger with a side of forced nonchalance. Yeah, life's funny that way. They talked in fits. Zach, a sales rep for some AG tech firm, divorced after a shotgun wedding to the cheer captain who'd popped out a kid and popped his bubble. Turns out, I was just going through motions, Zach admitted, fingers tracing the coaster's edge. Always wondered about that note. Liam's heart jackhammered, but he leaned on the bar, wiping his hands on his apron. Me too. But hey, we're here now. It was tentative, that first coffee after shift, walking the lakefront as freighters ghosted the horizon. Zach's hand brushed his, electric, and Liam pulled back. Not from fear, but the ghost of Jack's rage whispering freak. Yet Zach persisted, patient as Midwest winters, showing up with takeout from corner delis, tickets to Cubs games where they'd scream over foul balls and steal kisses in the bleachers' shadows. Love bloomed slow, like spring after a brutal freeze. They moved in together after 6 months. Zach's sleek loft overlooking the Chicago River, all exposed brick and skyline views that made Liam feel like he belonged in this concrete jungle. Mornings were rituals. Zach brewing coffee strong as his hugs, Liam flipping pancakes with a flourish, their laughter echoing off stainless steel. "You're my anchor," Zach murmured one dawn, lips against Liam's temple. And for the first time since the farm, Liam believed in anchors that held. But anchors drag, too. Zach's ex, Sarah, circled like a hawk, custody battles over little Emma, who at 7 had her daddy's eyes and a penchant for dinosaurs. "She asks about you," Zach confessed one night, post-fight, Emma's crayon drawings taped to the fridge like peace treaties. Liam nodded, but unease coiled in his chest. He wanted this, family, messy and real, but the farm's echo lingered. Disgrace. When Zach proposed on a pier at Navy Pier, fireworks bursting like confessions, Liam said yes, tears salting the yes. "No more running," he vowed, ring glinting like a promise. The wedding was small, a rooftop affair in June heat, rainbow boutonnieres and vows exchanged under a canopy of string lights. Aunt Marlene came, hugging Liam fierce, whispering, "Jack's proud, deep down. You'd see if you let him." Liam stiffened, but Zach squeezed his hand. Steady, always steady. They honeymooned in the Smokies, cabins and creeks, bodies tangled in flannel sheets, whispers of forever. Back home, life settled. Liam head chef now, Zach promoted, Emma's weekends filled with fort building and bedtime stories about brave knights who loved knights. Then the call. October fog rolling off the lake, Liam slicing heirloom tomatoes when his phone buzzed. Unknown Indiana number. Marlene's voice hollow. "He's gone, honey." Sudden. "We're burying him Saturday." Liam sank to the floor, knife clattering, the world tilting. Zach found him there, cradling him like fragile china. "Go," Zach urged, packing his bag with quiet efficiency. "This is closure. You deserve it." The drive was a blur. Interstates bleeding into 2 lanes, goldenrod fields surrendering to frost-kissed earth. Willow Creek hadn't changed. The same sagging porches, the diner where Jack held court over pie and politics, the high school football field scarred from Friday lights. The farm loomed at the edge of town, white-clabbered weathered gray, windmill creaking like a metronome to memories. Marlene met him at the door, silver hair pinned back, eyes red-rimmed. He left instructions. "For you." The funeral was a parade of flannel and whispers. Farmers in John Deere caps, neighbors who'd known Jack since diapers, all murmuring condolences that skimmed the surface. Liam sat in the back pew, Zach's hand a lifeline from the empty seat beside him. He'd stayed in Chicago for Emma's recital, promising to fly out Sunday. Pastor droned about redemption, heaven's gates, and Liam bit his lip bloody, because redemption felt like a fairy tale for men who hadn't shattered their sons. After, at the graveside, under that biblical rain, Marlene pressed the envelope into his palm. "Found it in his desk. Sealed since." "Well, you know." Liam retreated to the farmhouse, boots tracking mud across the linoleum Jack had laid himself. The kitchen smelled of ghosts, coffee grounds and motor oil, the table scarred from 1,000 suppers. He slit the envelope with a butter knife, heart thundering, and unfolded the pages. 3 sheets, ink faded but fervent. My dearest Liam, if you're reading this, I'm dust, and that's a mercy. I write this on the anniversary of the worst day of my life, the day I drove you away. God, boy, I see it now. Your face in the porch light, duffel slung over your shoulder, eyes like your mother's, full of hurt I put there. I told myself it was for your good, for the town's good, for mine. Lies all of it. Truth is, I was scared. Scared of what folks would say. Scared you'd end up like those stories from Nam. Lost boys chewed up by a world that don't forgive difference. But mostly scared of loving you wrong, of not being man enough to stand by you. I ain't got excuses that hold water. After your ma passed, I drowned in the fields, in the bottle, in being the rock when I was crumbling. When I found that note, Zachary's, was it? It lit the fuse on every fear I'd buried. I saw my failures staring back. A son who loved bold, when I loved quiet and safe. So I lashed out, sent you packing like a stray dog. And every day since, it's eaten me hollow. The letter trembled in Liam's grip, rain pattering the window like impatient fingers. He read on, Jack's words unfurling like a confession booth curtain ripped aside. I tried to reach you, Liam. Marlene's cards? My doing, though I never signed 'em. Watched from afar, your aunt clipping articles about that fancy chef job in the city, your engagement photo in the alumni newsletter. Proud don't cover it. You built a life, son, without my map. And Zachary. Hell, I remember him. Quarterback with the arm like a cannon, but kind eyes. If he makes you happy, tell him Jack Harper says welcome, even if it's from the grave. This farm's yours. Sold off parcels to pay debts, but the house, the back 40, it's blood right. Fix it up, burn it down, your call. Just know I spent these years regretting, praying you'd forgive what I couldn't. You're my legacy, Liam. Not the crops or the cattle, but you. Stronger than I ever was. Love you, always did, even when I was too damn stubborn to show it. Dad. Tears blurred the ink, smudging the signature into a Rorschach of what-ifs. Liam folded it away, chest heaving, the farmhouse groaning around him like it shared the ache. Forgiveness? It dangled there, a carrot on a stick, but the scar tissue pulled tight. He wandered the halls, floorboards creaking under his weight, ghosts in every corner. The den where Jack nursed wounds with Johnny Walker. The attic stairs he'd climbed as a kid hunting treasures in dusty crates. Up there, amid cobwebs and forgotten farm tools, he found the box. Cardboard, taped shut, labeled LH in Sharpie. Heart stuttering, Liam pried it open, dust motes dancing in the flashlight beam from his phone. Inside, his baby book, curls of his toddler hair taped beside faded Polaroids. A stack of letters, unsent, addressed to Chicago postmarks that never made it. And at the bottom, a leather journal, spine cracked like an old friend's smile. He sank onto a trunk, flipping pages yellowed with time. Jack's entries started post-expulsion. Day 47. Drove to Indy's bus station today, sat in the lot like a fool. No sign of him. What if he's cold? Hungry? My fault. Entries spiraled. Farm logs interspersed with raw pleas. Heard from Marlene. Liam's waitressing. Good kid, tough as nails. Wish I could say sorry over pie. By the end, they softened. Saw a pride parade on the news. Rainbows everywhere. Thought of my boy marching tall. Maybe that's the fix I needed. Liam's throat closed, sobs racking him silent. The rain eased to a drizzle, moonlight slicing through the skylight like a benediction. He sat there till dawn, journal clutched to his chest, the farm's pulse sinking with his own stubborn enduring. Morning brought the reading of the will in town hall, a squat brick building smelling of coffee and bureaucracy. Cousins milled about, murmuring over styrofoam cups, eyes sliding to Liam like he was Exhibit A. Uncle Ray, Jack's brother, clapped his shoulder too hard. "'Bout time you showed. Farm needs a Harper hand." Liam nodded, envelope burning in his pocket, but the words stuck. Legacy. What did that even mean now? Marlene pulled him aside post-ceremony, into the side room with its sagging couch and faded flags. He changed, Liam. Last year's, after the stroke scare. Started therapy, group for widowers, but it cracked him open. Talked about you nonstop. Her eyes, mirrors of his own blue, brimmed. That box? He packed it special. Said if you came, it'd speak for him. Liam swallowed hard. And if I hadn't? She squeezed his arm. You were always coming back, honey. Blood calls. He drove the back roads that afternoon, windows down, chill air whipping his hair. Willow Creek unfolded in vignettes. The creek where he'd skipped stones with Jack, dreaming of city lights. The football field where Zachary's throws had arced like promises. Zach. God, he missed him, the solid warmth, the way he'd hum off-key to classic rock while folding laundry. Liam pulled over at the old oak, the one they'd carved initials into as sophomores. L+Z, hearts lopsided but eternal. Bark healed over, but the scar remained, faint as memory. Phone buzzed, Zach's text. How you holding? Emma drew you a card, Dino with a chef hat. Love you. Liam's fingers hovered. Typing found something. Complicated. But he deleted it, pocketing the phone. This was his to unpack first. Back at the farm, he tackled the kitchen. Scrubbing counters caked with neglect, unearthing relics. Jack's favorite mug, chipped from a fall. Recipe cards and Mom's script for apple pie that tasted like home. As dusk fell, headlights swept the drive. Aunt Marlene with pot roast and stories, her laugh a bomb. Your dad loved this place fierce, she said over forkfuls. But he loved you more. Just got tangled in his own knots. Night deepened, and sleep evaded. Liam lay in his old room, posters peeled from walls, mattress sagging under ghosts, dreams tangled. Jack's face, young and grinning, morphing to rage, then regret. Zachary's hand in his, pulling him from the porch into starlight. He woke sweat damp, resolve hardening. Tomorrow he'd call Zach. Tomorrow he'd decide. But tomorrow brought betrayal's shadow. At breakfast, oatmeal gluey from disuse, the screen door banged. In strode cousin Derek, Jack's nephew by marriage, all bluster and beer gut, flanked by a slick realtor in loafers. Heard you got the deed, Derek boomed, slapping estate papers on the table. But Jack owed me. Big. This spreads collateral. Liam's spoon clattered. What the hell? Will said. Will's a suggestion, kid. Debts first. Derek's grin was wolfish, eyes flicking to the realtor's clipboard. We're foreclosing. Sign over or lawyers get fun. Marlene burst in then, face thunder. Lies. Jack paid you square last harvest. But Derek waved her off, papers rustling like threats. Liam's blood boiled. After the letter, the box. This? Theft masked as business. The farm's heart carved out for condos and cash. He stood, voice steel. Get out. This ain't over. They left smirking, but the seed of doubt sprouted. How deep did Jack's regrets run? Had he gambled the legacy away? Hours blurred in frantic calls. Lawyers in Lafayette. Marlene digging ledgers from the barn. Truth trickled. Derek had forged notes, siphoned funds while Jack faded. Betrayal, kin deep, the kind that festered like untreated wounds. Liam paced the porch, envelope in hand, Jack's words mocking. It's yours. Fury warred with grief. Forgive a ghost. Fight the living? Dusk painted the fields gold when his phone rang. Zach. Boarding now. Be there by 10. Relief flooded, but so did fear. How to explain this mess? The farm, the letter, the unraveling? Zach arrived under harvest moon, truck rumbling up the gravel, pulling Liam into arms that smelled of airport pretzels and home. Talk to me, he murmured, chin on Liam's crown. They sat on the tailgate, stars wheeling overhead, and Liam spilled it all. Expulsion's echo, the apology's weight, Derek's greed. Zach listened, thumb tracing Liam's knuckles. You're not that scared kid anymore. Fight for it. For him. Their kiss was salt and surety, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. In the farmhouse glow, they made love slow, hands mapping scars, breaths sinking to the windmill's creak. Not frenzy, but reclamation, love as defiance. Dawn brought strategy. Hire the firm from Marlene's Rolodex, audit every receipt. But conflict brewed. Derek's calls escalated. Veiled threats about family secrets unearthed in Jack's files. What secrets? Liam rifled the attic again, journal yielding crumbs. Jack's Vietnam letters home, hinting at loves unspoken. A sergeant lost to shrapnel and silence. I ain't brave like you, son, one read. Layers peeled, revealing Jack not monster, but man. Flawed. Hidden. Climax loomed midweek. Derek storming the farm with sheriff's badges and eviction notice. Time's up, fairy boy. The slur landed like a slap, dredging the past. Liam faced him, Zack at his flank. Marlene wielding a shotgun more prop than peril. This ends now, Liam declared, thrusting Jack's letter forward. Read it. See what family means. Derek scoffed, but eyes darted. Guilt? Then the twist. A crumpled photo from the box, Jack and a young GI, arms slung, smiles illicit. Derek paled. Uncle Jack? Whispers spread, town tongues wagging, the foreclosure a house of cards. In the melee, sheriff siding with truth, Derek confessed. Desperation, not hate, drove the fraud. Farms failing, needed out. But the damage, trust fractured, legacy teetering. Liam stood amid the chaos. Rain starting anew, Zack's hand grounding him. What now? Zack asked. Forgive? Liam whispered, envelope to his heart. And build. The sheriff's cruiser taillights faded down the drive. Derek handcuffed in back, his bluster deflated to mutters. Willow Creek's rumor mill would churn this into legend by lunch. Jack Harper's secret. The gay son saving the farm, kin turning Judas. Liam watched the dust settle, chest hollowed by the wind that felt like ash. Victory, but at what cost? The photo, Jack and that sergeant, frozen in '68 youth, burned in his pocket, a talisman of inherited silences. Marlene lowered the shotgun, barrel pointed skyward like a surrendered flag. Never thought I'd see the day. Her laugh was brittle, eyes on the horizon where soybeans bowed to wind. Your dad. He carried that heavy, didn't he? Liam nodded, throat tight. We all do. Zack wrapped an arm around his waist, solid as oak. But even that anchor strained under the day's weight. Let's eat, Zack said, voice pitched for normalcy. Pot roasts calling. They did 3 of them around the scarred table. Marlene's reheated bounty-filling plates, stories flowing like the creek after thaw. She spun yarns of Jack's courting days, wooing Liam's mom with wildflowers and bad poetry. Pre-war dreams untarnished. Zack listened, chin propped on fist, stealing glances at Liam that said we got this. But under the clink of forks, tension hummed, Derek's fairy boy echoing. The photo's implications gnawing. Was Jack's rage projection, fear of his own shadows? Night fell soft, stars pricking the velvet sky. Marlene kissed Liam's cheek goodbye, truck rumbling off to her double-wide on the town's edge. Alone, the farmhouse exhaled. Creaks and sighs, windmills' rhythmic groan. Liam and Zack climbed the stairs, shedding clothes like old skins, collapsing into the master bed. Jack's room, unchanged. Plaid quilt, nightstand Bible dog-eared at Psalms. They made love there, urgent yet tender, bodies a bulwark against the ghosts. Zack's whispers, you're enough, always, anchored Liam through waves of doubt. Release coming in shudders that tasted of salt and absolution. Morning light filtered through lace curtains Mom had sewn, and Liam woke to coffee brewing, Zack humming Springsteen in the kitchen. Figured we'd need fuel, Zack said, handing over a mug, steam curling like question marks. What's the play? Stay? Sell? Liam sipped, black and bitter. Stay. At least a while. Figure out what this place needs. The farm wasn't just dirt and debt. It was Jack's apology incarnate, roots twining with his own. But Chicago pulled. The anchor's chaos, Emma's gap-toothed grins, their loft's Riverview sunrises. 6 months, he decided. Test the waters. Zack nodded, no hesitation. I'm in. Emma too. She'll love the barn. His grin flashed, boyish, easing the knot in Liam's gut. They spent the day reclaiming. Hauling junk from the barn, Zach's salesman's charm haggling tools at the co-op, Liam plotting a farm-to-table pop-up in the hayloft. Romance wove through labor. Stolen kisses amid pitchforks. Zach's back pressed to rusted tractor as Liam traced his jaw. "Love this side of you," Zach murmured. "Dirt under nails, fire in your eyes." But conflict simmered beneath idle. Town whispers slithered in. At the diner, waitresses averting eyes. Old teammates nodding awkward at the pump. Willow Creek was changing. Wind farms sprouting on hilltops. Young families fleeing Rust Belt blues. But prejudice lingered like damp in walls. One evening, as Liam unloaded feed, a pickup slowed, bed full of hay bales. Driver, Tommy Greer, high school bully turned feed store owner, face creased with false joviality. "Heard you saved the day, Harper. Jack'd be proud. 'Cept for the pansy part, eh." Liam's grip tightened on the sack, grain spilling like blood. Zach, stacking behind, straightened slow. "Watch your mouth, Tommy. Times change." Tommy chuckled, tires spinning gravel as he peeled out. Liam sagged against the barn, pulse thunder. "It's nothing," he lied. But Zach pulled him close, foreheads touching. "It ain't, and it hurts. Talk." So he did, later by the fire pit. Sparks ascending like freed prayers, the journal open on his lap. Dad's letter humanizes him, but does it erase the boot out the door? Zach stoked the flames, face gilded orange. "No, but it explains. And you're writing your own story now." Words kindled something fierce. Liam leaning in, capturing Zach's mouth, the kiss deepening to claim. They tumbled into grass, stars witnesses, love a defiant hymn against the night. Passion without porn, just souls sinking, breaths ragged with emotion. Weeks blurred into rhythm. Dawn patrols of fences, Liam's hands blistered but sure. Afternoons plotting menus with local growers, soybeans giving way to herb beds. Zach commuted weekends, Emma arriving Friday with pigtails and wonder. "Uncle Liam, can we ride the cow?" No cows, but the pony from neighbor McAllister sufficed, her squeals echoing across acres. Family, patchwork but whole. Dinners of venison stew, bedtime tales of farm boy nights saving dragon-haunted silos. Yet betrayal's aftershock lingered. Derek's trial loomed in Lafayette Court, Marlene testifying to forged checks, but whispers hinted deeper. Jack's secret photo leaked online, town Facebook ablaze with speculation. Was Big Jack one of them? Comments ranged cruel to curious, and Liam fielded calls. From reporters sniffing drama, old friends probing truths. "Your dad?" One ventured, voice laced pity. Liam hung up, nausea rising. Privacy shattered, legacy twisted into tabloid fodder. He confronted Marlene over pie at her place, pie tins clanging emphasis. "Who leaked it?" Her face crumpled. "Derek, before the cuffs. Said it'd discredit you. Queer agenda taking the farm. Betrayal layered, kin's greed poisoning wells." Liam stormed out, driving aimless till the creek called, skipping stones till knuckles bled. Zach found him there at dusk, Emma asleep in the truck. "Breathe," he urged, arms enveloping. "This town's noise, our truth's louder." But doubt crept, romance fraying at edges. Late nights, Liam pored over ledgers, numbers blurring with worry. Farm viable but slim margins in a world of corporate AG. Zach's job suffered. Sales calls dropped in signal dead zones. "I'm proud," Zach insisted. But lines etched his brow. Emma's questions. "Why no city lights, Daddy?" Stinging unspoken. Climax brewed on a frostbit November eve. Harvest moon fat as a tick. The town hall meeting. Zoning vote on the farm's back 40. Developers eyeing it for strip malls. Backed by Derek's cronies. Liam spoke, voice steady. "This land's more than dirt. It's memory, mended. Jack Harper built it for family. Mine now." Applause scattered, but opposition snarled. "City boys' plaything. Sell to progress." Outside, under sodium lamps, confrontation ignited. Tommy Greer and a posse blocked the lot, beers in hand. slurs slinging like stones. Go back to your boyfriend's bed, freak. Zach shoved forward, fists clenched. Back off! But a bottle shattered, glass biting Liam's arm, blood hot and accusatory. Chaos erupted, sheriff sirens wailing, Marlene's truck barreling in like cavalry. Liam staggered, Zach's jacket staunching the flow, eyes wild with fear. Hospital! Zach barked, bundling him in. ER stitches and tetanus shots later in the sterile wait Liam broke. I can't. This place chews us up. Zach cupped his face, thumbs wiping tears. Then we choose. Together. Moonlight through blinds striped their hands clasped. Love's vow renewed in crisis's forge. Healing came slow, arm bandaged, spirit bruised. But the vote swung. Testimonies of Jack's grit, Liam's plans for community co-op tipping scales. Farm secured, but cost tallied. Zach's black eye, Emma's nightmares of mean men's. Winter blanketed Willow Creek in hush, snow-muffling sins. Liam and Zach shoveled paths, built snow forts with Emma, her laughter a poultice. Romance deepened in quiet. Cocoa by hearth, slow dances to AM radio crooners. Bodies entwined under quilts, whispers tracing futures. Marry me proper here, Zach proposed one blizzard night. Ring from his pocket, simple gold, etched with L+Z. Liam's yes was a sob, joy's release. Spring unfurled green, farm alive. Herb beds bursting, pop-up dinners drawing city folk, rainbows in the diner windows. Jack's grave sprouted wildflowers. Liam leaving the journal their one dawn. Forgiven, Dad, we're good. Humanistic close. Not fairy tale, but earned grace. Liam stayed. Chef's haven in the heartland. Zach remote working. Emma chasing fireflies. Betrayal scarred, but love mended. Deep. American as apple pie and open roads. Proving some apologies. Once found. Rewrite endings. Wait, no, that's not right. The story's arc needs more build. Let me adjust. Actually, in my outline, the climax was the confrontation, but to stretch to 6,000 deepen emotions. Revised flow. After the trial win, Liam discovers more about Jack's past. Deepening conflict with Zach over staying versus leaving. The courtroom in Lafayette was a relic. Peeling varnish on benches. American flag drooping like a weary sentinel. Derek slouched in orange, face sallow under fluorescence, as the judge's gavel cracked finality. Fraud, embezzlement, 5 years suspended on restitution. Pay back every cent or sells await. The judge intoned, voice gravel. Liam sat rigid, Marlene's hand vice on his knee. Zach's presence a quiet bulwark 2 rows back. Emma with a sitter, thank God. Derek's gaze met Liam's as deputies led him out. Not defiance, but defeat. A nod almost apologetic. Didn't mean to drag the old man's ghost, he muttered, chains rattling. Liam turned away, bile rising. Forgiveness for Jack, maybe, but this? Blood diluted by greed, leaving stains. Outside, November wind whipped leaves like accusations. Reporters swarmed, local stringers from the Gazette. A blogger sniffing, Heartland scandal. Mr. Harper comments on your father's orientation. One thrust a mic, sly. Liam batted it aside, Zach's arm steering him to the truck. Drive, Zach said, voice low thunder. They peeled out, radio static swallowing questions. Homebound silence stretched, corn stubble blurring past. You okay? Zach finally asked, hand on Liam's thigh. Steady, but tension coiled in his grip. Liam exhaled fog. No, but closer. The photo weighed heavy, Jack's secret, now town's tinderbox. Facebook feeds he'd scrolled in weak moments. Jack Harper queer? Explains the loner act. Good riddance to that farm, let the queers have it. Hates Hydra, heads multiplying. That night, fire crackling. Liam unearthed the journal again. Pages whispering secrets. Entries from 72. Sergeant Ellis, gone too soon. His laugh like thunder rolling home. Buried it deep, for the farm. But nights it haunts. Ellis. Zachary's surname? Coincidence or thread? Liam's pulse skipped. Zach's family from these parts. Granddad a vet. He confronted Zach by the sink. Soapy dishes forgotten. Your last name? Ellis. Jack's sergeant. Zach froze, sponge dripping. Grandpa Tom? Yeah, he served with Uncle Jack. Pause, eyes searching. What are you saying? Liam thrust the journal forward. Read. Zach did, face paling as recognition dawned. Holy shit. Dad never talked details. Just war buddies. But this. He traced the ink, voice cracking. Liam, if Jack loved him. Like we love. The connection landed soft. A bridge across decades. They sank to the floor, backs to cabinets, heads together. Makes his rage make sense, Liam murmured. Pushed me away to spare me his pain. Zach's kiss was gentle, lips lingering. Or taught you to love louder. Emotion swelled, bodies shifting to embrace. The kitchen tile cool under fevered skin. Love's language, unspoken vows and touch. Hands reverent, breaths mingling like prayers. But idol fractured next morn. A letter arrived, postmarked Chicago. Sarah, Zach's ex, ink sharp as her temper. Custody hearing next month. Emma's confused. Farm life, your lifestyle. Judge won't like instability. Enclosure. Photos of their loft, circled in red. This is home. Zach crumpled it, face ashen. She's bluffing. But, Emma. Liam's stomach nodded. Betrayal's new face. Not greed, but fear's weapon. Sarah, ever the gatekeeper, twisting love to leverage. Fight it, Liam urged. But doubt shadowed Zach's eyes. City security versus rural gamble. Conflict crested over weeks. Zach's calls to lawyers, Liam's farm expansions. Greenhouse for year-round herbs. Co-op shares selling brisk. Romance strained. Nights apart. Zach flying back for hearings. Liam alone with winds howl. I miss us, Liam confessed in a midnight video call. Screen grainy with distance. Me too. Zach's smile faltered. But Emma. She's asking why Daddy's sad. Guilt gnawed Liam raw. Was the farm worth fracturing their makeshift family? He threw himself into work. Pop-up dinners packed the barn. City slickers raving over soy-glazed ribs. But each toast echoed hollow. Marlene noticed over coffee at dawn. Love's a crop, Liam. Tends itself if you let it. Don't force the roots. Her words lingered as snow-dusted fields, whitewashing sins. Christmas neared. Lights strung on the farmhouse like defiant stars. Zach arrived Christmas Eve. Emma in tow, arms laden with garland and ghosts. We stay through New Year's, he declared, hugging fierce. Dinner was chaos. Ham glazed honey sweet, Emma's carols off-key, Marlene's fruitcake a brick of tradition. Midnight mass in town, candlelight flickering on faces old and new. Pastor spoke of prodigal sons. Forgiveness is prod. Liam's hand found Zach's in the pew, Emma between, small fingers laced. Outside, snow falling thick, they walked home. Tracks filling fast, world renewed. But betrayal's echo resounded post-holiday. Sarah's lawyer deposed, subpoenaing Jack's scandalous files for moral fitness. Town clerk, sympathetic, tipped Marlene. They're painting Zach unstable. Farm's a phase. Rage boiled Liam cold. He drove to Chicago unannounced, skyline a jagged comfort, storming Sarah's condo in Lincoln Park. She opened the door, silk robe and surprise. Liam? What? Stop this. He held the journal, photo tucked inside. Jack's story isn't ammo. It's human. Like us. Her eyes narrowed, then softened, glimpse of the girl who'd once been Zach's friend. It's for Emma. Stability. Farm's stable. Love is. He left it there, the book a bridge. Days later, call came. Sarah withdrawing. Truce for the kid. Relief flooded, but cost tallied. Trust's fragility exposed. Back in Willow Creek, Zach waited on the porch, Emma sledding nearby. You fixed it, he said, pulling Liam close. Snow melted on lashes, kiss warm against chill. Spring's thaw mirrored mending. Co-op thrived, Emma's school bus rumbling daily. Romance rekindled in blooms. Picnics by the creek, initials recarved deeper in the oak. Climax's scar faded, replaced by quiet victories. First Harvest Festival. Liam's keynote on Legacy's reinvention. Crowd cheering under banners. Yet depth lingered. Liam visiting Jack's grave weekly. Letters left like dialogues. Missed your grit, Dad. Teaching Emma to hoe rows. Humanistic arc. Not erasure, but integration. Past's pains fertilizing future's growth. Summer heat baked the fields golden, and on the anniversary of the expulsion, Liam and Zach renewed vows in the barn. Hay bales pews, Emma flower girl, Marlene officiating with heartfelt homilies. Love, she said, ain't straight lines, it's the curves that get you home. Dancing under stars, Liam whispered to Zach, thank you for seeing me. Always did, Zach replied, spin lifting laughter. Ending open, hopeful. Farm a haven. Hearts mended. America's promise in every sunrise. Flawed, fierce, forever. The drive back from Chicago was a meditation in mercy's cost. Interstates hummed under tires, Liam's bandaged arm throbbing in rhythm, but the real ache was deeper. Sarah's concession a Pyrrhic peace, her truce bought with Jack's unearthed heart. Billboards blurred. Jesus saves, farm fresh eggs, reminders of heartland hypocrisy. Liam's fingers drummed the wheel, journal on passenger seat like a passenger itself, pages dog-eared at revelations. What did it mean, Jack's love for Tom Ellis? Not just a wartime footnote, but a mirror to Liam's own, hidden, then hurled. Had Jack seen in that crumpled note from young Zach an echo of his sergeant's smile? The thought softened edges, rage yielding to sorrow's tide. You were braver than you knew, Dad, Liam murmured to the dash, tears pricking. Willow Creek welcomed with open arms and closed mouths. Town settling after the trial's tempest, Derek's shadow receding to county lockup. Marlene had the coffee on, pot burbling as Liam unloaded groceries. Sarah back down? She asked, pouring mugs with cream swirled like comets. Yeah. Showed her the book. He slid it across for Micah, her fingers tracing spine. Hits different when it's family. She nodded, eyes distant. Tom Ellis knew him post-war. Quiet fella, helped with harvests. Jack never said, but the way they talked. Like old souls. Pause, sip. Your dad carried that silence like a yoke. Glad it's lifted, even if late. Afternoon waned in chores. Mending fence wire snagged on rust. Liam's stitches pulling but progress sweet. Zach texted updates. Emma's school play casting. She's a tree. Perfect. Laughter bubbled, easing knots. Love's thread. Taut but unbroken. Evening brought storm, thunder rumbling distant. Air heavy with ozone promise. Zach arrived as rain lashed, truck hydroplaning gravel. Emma giggling from the cab. Uncle Liam. We brought cookies. Chocolate chip. Lopsided from small hands. Devoured on the porch swing as lightning forked sky. Bedtime for Emma in the guest room. Formerly storage, now fairy lights and dinosaur decals. Liam read Where the Wild Things Are, voice low, her eyelids fluttering to Max's mischief. Zach watched from door, arms crossed, smile soft. You're good at this, he whispered later, dishes drying beside. Learning. Liam hip-checked him playful, suds flying. But levity cracked. Zach's shoulders sagged, court stress etching lines. Sarah's truce holds, but what if she flips? Won't. Liam dried hands, turning to cup Zach's face. We build walls now, love's kind. Their kiss started sweet, deepening to hunger's edge, bodies pressing counterclose. Not lust's fire, but emotion's glow. Hands gentle on scars, breaths shared like secrets. Upstairs, under rafters, they undressed slow, skin to skin a map of endurance. Zach's murmurs, my home, sealed them. Climax a quiet wave, afterglow entangled limbs and heartbeats synced. Dawn's light painted frost lace on windows, and Liam rose early, journal in hand for the grave. Willow Creek Cemetery, mist-shrouded, headstones like sentinels. He knelt, soil damp, reading aloud Jack's last entry. Forgive yourself first, boy. That's the real apology. Tears fell, soaking earth, but peace stirred. Cycle broken, legacy claimed. Back home, farm pulsed alive. Co-op meeting in the kitchen, neighbors hashing crop rotations over donuts. Mrs. Whitaker, widow from the ridge, clapped Liam's back. Heard about the fight. Jack spit in Derek's eye himself. Laughter rippled, acceptance's quiet tide. But conflict's undercurrent tugged. Zach's job, AG-Tech sales, chafed against spotty cell, deals lost to dropped calls. Boss is pushing relocation. He confessed one lunch, sandwich uneaten. Nashville office. Better for Emma's school. Liam's fork paused mid-air, salad wilting. And us? Commute. Or. Unspoken hung choose. Tension simmered days, polite chores, kisses clipped. Liam threw into expansion. Greenhouse frames rising, seedlings under glass promising abundance. But nights, bed vast, Zach's back a wall. Talk, Liam urged, hand on shoulder blade. Zach rolled over, eyes shadowed. Love the farm. Love you here. But Emma needs more. Arts, friends, not just fields. Chicago's an hour by prop plane. Defensive, sharp. It's not just distance. Roots, you found yours. Mine's split. Vulnerability cracked. Zach's voice breaking. Don't want to lose this. Or you. Embrace followed. Tears wetting pillows. We hybrid, Liam proposed. You Nashville weekends here. Test. Relief in Zach's nod. But ache lingered. Love's geography. Borders blurring hearts. Spring equinox brought renewal. First shoots piercing soil. Co-op's inaugural market day. Stalls under tents. Liam's farm stand heaped with asparagus and rhubarb pies. Crowds swelling with locals and tourists. Emma hawked lemonade. Pigtails bobbing. Zach's pride beaming. Look at our girl, he said. Arm around Liam's waist, public and proud. Tommy Greer slunk by, hat low, mumbling nice spread. No slur, just nod, changes grudging crawl. But betrayal's ghost resurfaced in mail. Anonymous envelope, photocopies of Jack's letters, scrawled note. Truth hurts. Sell while you can. Paranoia spiked. Who? Derek's allies? Liam burned them in the fire pit. Ashes to wind, but seed planted. Security fragile. Climax brewed in May heat. Town council vote on wind farm lease. Back 40 tempting with royalties. But turbines scarring skyline Jack loved. Opponents rallied. Developers suits, promising jobs. Locals clinging tradition. Liam testified, voice steady. This land's story isn't for sale. It's ours to steward. Crowd murmured. Tommy rising. Harper's right. Jack wouldn't pave paradise. Applause thundered. Vote swinging no. Victory sweet. But post-meeting, confrontation. Lead developer cornering Liam in parking lot. Breath whiskey sour. Your kind don't belong. Back off or regret. Zach materialized. Fists balled. Touch him, you regret. Standoff dissolved in taillights, but adrenaline crashed Liam hard. Shaking in Zach's arms, driveway gravel biting knees. Why fight? He gasped. For ghosts. For us? Zach fierce. For Emma's tomorrow. Their lovemaking that night was catharsis, bodies urgent, emotions raw. Release a purging storm. Dawn found them entwined, resolve renewed. Summer solstice festival sealed mending. Barn dance, fiddles wailing, Liam and Zach two-stepping clumsy. Emma twirling skirts. Marlene toasted. To Harper's old and new. Laughter echoed. Stars confetti overhead. Humanism's close. Imperfections embraced. Love's labor yielding harvest. Liam's final letter to Jack. We're thriving. Thanks for the start. Farm a beacon, hearts full. America's messy grace in every furrow. June's humidity clung like regret's residue. But the farm bloomed defiant. Tomato vines heavy with promise. Behum a hymn to persistence. Liam wiped sweat from brow. Troweling mulch around basil. Mind wandering to the envelope's latest ghost. Anonymous threats ceased after the vote. But paranoia lingered. Shadows lengthening with dusk. Zach noticed over dinner grilled corn and ribs. Emma's chatter filling gaps. You're quiet, he said, foot nudging Liam's under table. Just ghosts. Liam forced smile for Emma's sake, her gap-toothed grin a sunburst. More pie, Sprout. Bedtime ritual soothed. Tucking her in with stories of brave chefs battling veggie monsters, her giggles fading to snores. Downstairs, Zach waited, arms open. Spill. They walked the fields, fireflies pulsing like heartlights. The notes feel like Dad's rage reborn. Liam's voice cracked, vulnerability raw. What if it's not safe for her? Zach stopped, hands framing face. It is, because we're here. Kiss followed, soft then searing, fireflies witnesses to passion's spark. Back inside, stairs creaked under urgency, bedroom a sanctuary. Clothes shed in trail, bodies joining with reverence. Zach's touches mapped memories, whispers, I see you, all of you. Drawing moans like confessions. Climax crested emotional. Tears mingling sweat. Afterglow in quiet holds. Morning brought mail. Not threat, but opportunity. Chicago Food Mag feature on Heartland Heroes, spotlighting Liam's co-op. This could change everything, Zach said, clipping article to fridge with Emma's dinosaurs. Excitement built. Photo shoot in the barn. Liam in rolled sleeves, plating for lens. Reporter, a queer journalist from P-Town, probe gentle. Your story. Kicked out. Comeback. Courageous. Liam hesitated. Then, forgiveness too. Dad's letter. It healed. Feature ran splashy, orders flooding, farm's future brightening. But conflict's final twist. Sarah's visit, unannounced, Emma's birthday eve. She arrived in SUV gloss, heels sinking gravel, face masked politeness. Just dropping gifts. Toys piled, but eyes scanned, judging the dust, the distance. Zach tensed, but Liam invited in, coffee poured. Stay for cake. She did, thawing over Emma's delight, stories of city adventures. Miss this, she admitted, watching Zach blow bubbles. Our family messy, but real. Truce deepened to alliance, co-parenting calls post-visit. Betrayal transmuted to bridge. July 4th dawned explosive. Fireworks prepped. Co-op picnic sprawling fields. Neighbors gathered. Tommy Manning grill. Marlene's Pie's gold medal suite. Liam and Zach launched rockets with Emma. Sparks arcing like dreams. Dance followed. Lanterns swaying. Bodies close in crowd sway. Forever. Zach murmured, breath hot on neck. Damn right. Love's vow sealed in sweat and song. August harvest frenzy. Combines rumbling, bins overflowing. Liam's pop-ups sold out. Revenue mending fences literal and figurative. One eve, attic clear-out yielded treasure. Jack's Vietnam trunk. Medals tarnished. Letters from Tom. Miss your laugh, Jack. Come home safe. Liam framed one, hung in kitchen, honor, not hide. Fall's palette turned. Leaves crimson as redemption. Emma's school play. Charlotte's Web. Liam and Zach front row. Tears at Wilbur's save. Post-curtain, hugs backstage. Sarah applauding too. Family expanded, boundaries blurred. Climax's echo faded, but emotional peak crested Thanksgiving. Table groaning abundance. Marlene toasting to Sakan's chances. Liam rose, envelope in hand, reading Jack's words aloud. Silence reverent, then sniffles, claps. Zach's hand under table, Emma's drawing past. Farm with 3 stick figures, rainbows overhead. Winter solstice brought closure. Grave visit, snow blanketing. Liam leaving Tom's letter beside journal. Rest easy both. Wind carried whispers, peace settling like flakes. Spring 2026 cycled new. Wedding anniversary, barn vows renewed. Emma ring bearer in overalls. Vows expanded. Through betrayals and blooms, I choose you. Humanistic denouement. Life not perfect. Storms come, scars itch, but love's the constant. American as endless sky. Liam's cookbook deal sealed. Farm a model for rural revival. In the Heartland's hug, they thrived. Proof apologies. Once hidden, can light homeward paths.